Well, hello. A little bit something different today. What you're seeing is a 2003 Buick Rendezvous, and it's been overheating. So, that means it's time to change some things. The other day, I put this new shiny temperature sensor in, which I was hoping would kick the fans on, which is not kicking on properly. Plus this big radiator hose right here is getting nice and stiff, which means that the thermostat isn't opening. So the next step is do a thermostat. If it's not the thermostat, it's a radiator. So let's hope it's the thermostat, because I don't want to do a radiator in this vehicle. Well, the thermostat is down here, where this metal tube meets the motor, right in front or behind that sensor. And I already know it's going to be a bitch, not because I've already watched some YouTube videos, but whoever designed this vehicle, let's put it this way, I've replaced that alternator twice. The first time I put one in, it was bad, so I had to do it again. And in order to get that alternator out through this confined space, you have to remove this, which is the entire windshield wiper assembly, including the wipers themselves. Plus you got to take this box off, fuse box out of the way. It's a pain in the ass. So whoever designed this motor put it sideways, which was a jackass move, because here's another good example. Here's your plugs, right? Here's 3 of the V6 plugs. Here's 1, here's 2, the other one's tucked up under in this left side. It's almost nearly impossible to get to the 3 plugs in the back. So I can't imagine doing a tune-up on this vehicle is any kind of fun. Yeah, whoever designed this shit should be ashamed of themselves. They crammed 20 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, and they didn't do a really good job of it. But I already know to get to that thermostat, I'm going to have to take off this mass airflow sensor, the whole intake, and potentially the throttle body. And maybe even this metal line that comes all the way across here up to this bleeder valve. And this is just what I've been looking at on the internet. It's a real bastard and a real potential for danger. If I do have to take the throttle body off, I may have to replace the throttle body gasket, which I'm not thrilled about. I've already got to replace the thermostat gasket and the thermostat. And with all this old rust under here, it's an 03, it's 2024, could be a real son of a bitch. So, like everybody else says who works on this fucking motor, it's going to make you curse. And I'm probably going to end up calling it a cunt a few times. While I'm in here, I'm going to get a new air filter, just because if I'm going to have mass airflow off, I might as well pull this out and replace it. And I'm going to buy a throttle body gasket, just in case I have to pull it off. I can put a new gasket on. I don't have to worry about the old one being good. And obviously the thermostat gasket and the thermostat. So I'm going to record most of the work I do here. It'll probably end up on YouTube, but I'm mostly going to record it for myself, because I'm going to record everything I take off, like this clip here and this clip here and probably that clip there, just to get all this garbage out of the way. And I'm going to record it so, 1, I can go back and look at what I did to make sure I put it back together correctly, and 2, just to show everybody what a pain in the ass bitch this motor is. And if you've never seen or you haven't heard of the Buick Rendezvous, there's a good reason for that. Because if you're like me and you own one, you want to fucking get rid of it. But if it's the only vehicle you have, you're stuck with it. Because whoever designed this shit definitely didn't design it for homeowner use. They designed it to be a money sink So you have to take it to the dealer or a mechanic and then have it done. So again, gonna record it, maybe end up in YouTube, but for the most part it's for my own records, just so I know what I'm going to be taking apart and how I need to put it back together. So as of now, I need a thermostat gasket. I'm going to get an air filter, and I'm going to get a throttle body gasket, just so when I do put it back together, considering this is the only vehicle that I have, I can at least get mobile in case I mess up or something isn't right. I'm really hoping it's not a radiator problem. I'm really hoping it's the thermostat, but I did notice that this gets a lot of built up pressure on this big hose going to the thermostat, which means the thermostat's probably sticking and not opening. So we'll take it from there and we'll start opening this bitch up. So this may be part one of several parts of dealing with the Buick. So there you go.